Hey, what's up? Brian here, and I am on a Royal Caribbean ship, the Explorer of the Seas, by the way, and there's a craps table, and the casino's closed. What are we gonna do? Watch this.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. I brought some extra chips just to kind of show you some things. I brought some dice. I brought a puck that is off right now because the game is off. And so we're gonna show you, if you know craps or if you don't know craps, that's okay, because we're gonna show you how to play craps on a cruise, which is really a little bit different on a Royal Caribbean ship than playing in your land-based casinos. So I'm gonna show you some differences, okay? So first of all, if you've never played craps before, there are 5 dice, but you're gonna only pick 2 when they pass it to you to shoot. They go clockwise, actually, clockwise around the table. And so you don't have to shoot, you can pass it, but if you are gonna shoot, you're gonna need to bet a pass line or a don't pass line. This comes to my number 1 point. Okay, so let's say the table is a $10 minimum. If you're gonna bet the pass line, this is my number 1 point, especially on a Royal Caribbean ship. Don't ever bet the pass line unless you're the one rolling the dice. That's the number 1 tip that I can give anybody and everybody when it comes to playing craps on a cruise to earn a free cruise. There's a couple reasons why. We're going to talk about that as we go. But if you have a pass line, it's because you're rolling the dice. If you're not the one rolling the dice, believe me or not, you should never play the pass line. Okay, guaranteed. Never play the pass line if you want to win a free cruise and earn a free cruise. Okay, so that's what this is all about. So there's a lot of people say, wait, that's the best mathematical pass line with odds is the best mathematical way to play. Not when you're trying to earn a free cruise, okay? Okay, did I hit this enough? Did I talk about this enough? Okay, when they pass you the dice, you're gonna have a pass line, right? If you're the one shooting. If you're not shooting, you don't have a pass line. We'll talk about that later. But you pick 2. You pull them away, give them a minute to take these. They'll take these away, and now you have 2 dice. And whenever you're on this side of the table, you throw that way, and that way you throw this way, and you have to hit the back wall in order for it to count. Now, most casinos, if it doesn't hit the back wall, they will say, hey, they'll still call it, and they'll say, okay, hard 8, but make sure to hit the back wall, please. Here on a Royal Caribbean ship, if you don't hit the back wall, which is right here, look, the back wall. If it doesn't hit the back wall, if one lands there and one hits the back wall, they would say no roll, and they wouldn't count that as a 3. Just so you know. And even if it's a 7, they still wouldn't count it. So that's good that they are consistent, by the way. They are consistent, okay? So let's talk about the pass line, and let's talk about when you roll. So I'm gonna roll it right here just so you can see the numbers, okay? So instead of throwing it all the way down the table. So let's say we roll. So here's our pass line, the puck is off. This wins on 7-11 and it loses on 2-3-12 when the puck is off. If it rolls a 2-3-12, that's what they call crap out. You crap out if you roll a craps number. The 2, 3, and 12 are the only 3 craps numbers. There's only 3 craps numbers in the game of craps, and that is 2, 3, and 12. We'll talk more about that in a second. So let's roll it and see if we can get a 7 or 11. That would be called what's called a natural. If the puck is off and we roll a 7 or 11, we would have a natural or what's called a frontline winner. We would win $10, even money, and it is a 10. Okay, so it is a 10, and that means this puck becomes on the 10. The game is on, and we have to roll a 10 before a 7. Now, we don't win this bet on a 7. We lose this bet on the 7 because this bet just became a bet on the 10 over there. Now we have to roll a 10. Okay, I should show you where you can see the 4 as well. So there you go. There you go. You got the 4. Let me go up a little bit just so you can see it. Okay, there you go. So do you still see my pass line? Yeah, okay, here's my pass line, okay? So in order to pass or win, I have to roll a 10 before a 7. So let's just roll it and see what happens. There's an 11. Now this doesn't win on 11 anymore either. That is a bet on the 11 here. But we don't have that bet. Our only bet is on the 10 right here. Okay, so let's roll it. And it's a 7 out. 7 out is what that's called. A lot of people call this a crap out. It's not called a crap out. Remember, a crap out can only happen is when you roll a craps number when the puck is off. The puck was on and we rolled a 7, which is a 7 out, and we lose this bet. So we're down $10. The puck goes off and now they pass the dice to another shooter, and another shooter gets 5 dice, and they either bet the pass line or the don't pass line. So let's talk about the don't pass really quick. The don't pass, if rolling the 10 was passing, rolling the 7 was not passing. So this bet right here, you can, if you're rolling the dice, you can bet this one, and this one would actually, let's grab 2, and they'll take 3 away. This bet right here, if you're rolling the dice, or if anybody's rolling the dice, it wins on 2 and 3. It pushes on a 12, or bar the 12 it says over here, and it loses on 7 and 11. So this one right over here, if somebody was next to us and they're betting over here and we're betting over here, this person wins on 7 and 11 when the puck is off. This person loses on 7 and 11 when the puck is off. So let's see what happens. We'll play them both. 2 different people here. This person's rolling though. Okay, here we go. And it's a yo 11. So what happens? This person right here, they call it yo 11 instead of 11. The reason why they say yo 11 instead of just 11 is because 11 sounds like 7. So they say the word yo, so you know that they said 11, not 7. Hope that makes sense. But because the puck was off and we rolled an 11, this one loses on 7 and 11. This one wins on 7 and 11. So they won and they lost. Okay, so then they have to bet again, okay? And now it's time for them to roll again. So they roll again and it is a 7. What happens? This person loses, this person wins. Okay, so this person wins because they win on 7 and 11. The puck is still off. In order to get the puck to turn on, we need to roll a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10, and that will become the point. So let's go back again. This person's still rolling. They lost $20 already, by the way. And let's see what they get here. And it's another 11, and they lost, and this person won. Okay, normally it wouldn't go from here to there, but sometimes the dealers will take it. They'll actually take it and do that for you. Now you might say, hey, wait a minute, can I do this? Can I play both sides? Yes, you can. In some casinos, they'll let you play both sides, and the only time you'll lose is if it is a 12. 1 out of 36 chance that you'll lose this if it's a 12. If you do this right here, we would have been just winning, and like it's kind of a way to roll for free, okay, unless you get the 12. The 12 would, this one would lose, this one would push, so you'd still lose. But let's go back to here. Let's see if we can get a point established. What's the point of the game? Getting a point. Right now there's no point to this. Okay, there's an 8, all right? So we have an 8. So the puck turns on and it goes to the 8, which means now we have to roll an 8, right? This person, you have to roll an 8 to win. A 7 loses. This one's just the opposite. An 8 loses, but a 7 wins. Okay, so because in order to pass, I need to roll an 8. In order to not pass or don't pass, I have to roll a 7 before an 8. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. So there is a 7. So now this person loses and this person wins and the puck goes off. They pass the dice to the next person and they give them 5 dice to choose from, and then they choose 2 dice. They take the other 3 away. Okay, now let's talk about odds, and I'm gonna move it a little bit just so you can see the odds, because there is no place for odds. It's just behind the line. And on a Royal Caribbean ship, if ever you wanted to bet, say you're rolling the dice and you're on the pass line. Let's see what happens. Now remember, 2, 3, 12 is a crap out right now. We would have to bet again and we would still roll. So if ever you crap out, you still roll the dice. If you 7 out, you don't roll the dice. If you roll a 7 when the puck is off, you still roll the dice. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. And it's a 5. So the point becomes 5. Okay, so I'm gonna move this. This is gonna go over to the 5, and now it's on the 5. So the game is on, okay? So now that the game is on, for example, everybody that was here when the game was off, they're now playing the game is on. If you ever walk up to a table and you see that the game is on, you should always wait until the game is off in order to enter the game. Think of it as like a round of volleyball or something, you know, like, so the ball is in play, the people serve the volleyball, and the volleyball is kind of going back and forth, and then you want to jump in the middle of the volleyball game and start bump setting and spiking, you know. The idea is wait till the rally is over, which wait till the puck goes off, then enter the game. That is common, like etiquette, a common polite thing to do. If you were to come and put your money in when the puck is on, it's kind of like stepping on, it's kind of like jumping into that middle of that volleyball game and trying to hit the volleyball. Like, just wait until the rally is over. Wait until the round is over, or the hand or the puck goes off. Okay, wait till the game is off to enter the game. Okay, all right, sorry, little side note. Okay, so they rolled a 5, and now they're gonna have to roll a 5 before a 7 in order to pass or win this bet. Now, on a Royal Caribbean ship, if you have $10, which is the table minimum, you can only do what's called single odds, which means you can only do $10 behind. Now, remember before I was saying never play the pass line with odds or the pass line unless you're rolling the dice. This is the main reason here. The point is 5, you have $20 here. And if you win this bet, by the way, if you win this bet, you're gonna win even money here. This always pays even money. And the odds pay different depending on the point. So a 5 or 9, you would win $15, by the way. So your $20 bet would actually win $25. So did you know, like, imagine you weren't rolling the dice. Okay, so let's say there's another person over here, and this person is standing over here. Instead of playing pass line with odds, they take that same $20 and they actually just place it on the point, and they put the money on the line right here, and they ask this dealer, can I get a 5 for $20? So they put them up there, and the dealers actually place the money there. You always just place it on the line, and they have $20 there, and they have $20 there. That person's gonna get paid more than this person if they roll a 5. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Not only do you get paid more for playing the point instead of pass line with odds when it's single odds, but you'll get paid more in comp value, okay? You'll get paid more in comp value towards a free cruise, like comp points, because that right there is counted as a $20 bet on the 5. Even though this is a, quote, $20 bet on the 5, they never count your odds towards a free cruise or towards comps. So even if you have $20 here, it's only counted as a $10 bet. That is something a lot of people don't know. Now, if you went to $15, then you can go up a little bit more. Now, if you know anything about craps, a common craps table is what's called 3, 4, 5 times odds. 3, 4, 5 times odds. So the 4 and the 10 are the same, the 5 and the 9 are the same, and the 6 and the 8 are the same when it comes to odds. Now, what it means by 3, 4, 5 times odds is in a regular casino, if you put $10 here, you could do on a 4 and 10, you could do 3 times the 10, which would be $30. But here you can only do single. Now, you might say, what if I do $15 and I go up? Now, it's a much like the same, but what it is it's actually 3 on the 4 and 10, 4 on the 5 and 9, and 5 on the 6 and 8, but it is this. It is 3, 4, or 5 units. Okay, so there's that.
If you've just joined us, welcome.
Sorry, there's an announcement. Just a second. So let's talk about it again. Sorry, there was a little announcement there, but 3, 4, 5 times odds in a regular casino, but here on a Royal Caribbean ship, it's 3, 4, or 5 units, okay, based on 3, 4, 5 units. So if it was a 4 or 10, 15 would only get you 15 on the odds. If it's a 5 or 9, then you can do 4 units, so 15 would get you $20. And if it's a 6 and 8, 15 would give you $25 in odds. So in this scenario, we can only do 20 for 15, okay? Now you might say, what if I go up even more, Brian? What if I go up to $25? On every single number, so you have single odds at minimum. If you go up to $25, you have double odds on every number. You could do double odds. Now, if you go up to $50 on the pass line, then you can do 3, 4, 5 times odds. So 5 times 50 would be $250 that you can put right here if it was a 6 or 8. I hope that makes sense, but that is the differences on this. But let's get back to the rolling, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Let's talk about when it comes to the amounts that you have here, okay? Remember we talked about $250 could be right here. That would be $300 on a 6 and 8 that you would have. Here, I'll put it out. So here, there's 100, $250 that you can put behind if you go up to $50 on a 6 or 8. I know the point's 5, so but you would be able to do 3, 4 times. So you'd be able to do $200. Okay, so this is $250. But as far as points towards a free cruise, you're getting $50 average bet, not a $250 average bet. Only a $50 average bet. And you might know this by now, but if we take this same money right here and put it on the 5, we're going to not only get rated for all this money, but we're going to win more money out there than we are right here. Okay, it's like that with every number. The 6 and 8 are close, but when you calculate in that they're not rating this money back here, then of course you want to bet it out there and not back here. Okay, so and this is what makes, because people say this is the best because there's no house edge, but what makes this a bad bet is that it's paired with this, because this is only an even money bet. On every number, this is an even money bet. So anyway, with all that being said, let's get rid of this because we're going to be playing single odds if we're rolling the dice. Remember, if you're not rolling the dice, never bet the pass line with odds if you're not rolling the dice. That person's going to get paid more than this person, and they're going to win more points towards a free cruise. Let's roll and see what happens. And it is an 8. Okay, anybody that bet on the 8 would have got paid on the 8. All right, here we go. And it is a 10. Again, anybody that bet on the 10 would get paid on the 10. Okay, here we go. And that spun, by the way, but there's a 5. We got it. Okay, so now again, this person here is going to win even money here and then money and a half here. So 2 to 3, or 3 to 2, sorry. And that person out there is going to get paid more. What are they going to get paid? They're going to get, this person won $25. That person with the same money won $28. So they won more money and they were rated for more on a cruise. So rated towards a cruise. Okay, so and if you ever notice, whenever they do pay you out, by the way, when they pay you out here, they spread out your money everywhere, and it's like everywhere, and you're like, whoa, I won all this money. And then when you win over here, they just stack it up and pass it to you as small as it can be. You're actually winning more money, but they make it look like you're winning more money because they spread it all out right here. Okay, that's just psychological. And why would the casino want you to play pass line with odds? If the casino wants you to do something, it's because they make more money doing it, or you make less money doing it. Okay, so let's talk about the puck will go off. Now this person will still roll. This person's still rolling the dice. So they actually passed or got their point. So what they would do is they'd put it back out again, okay? And now it's time for them to roll again. The same dice. They don't have to choose, but it's time for them to roll again. So they roll, and it's a 3. Guess what? They lost. They just crapped out, right? Because the puck was off, and they rolled a craps number, 2, 3, or 12. They lost this bet, but they still rolled the dice. They crapped out. They still roll the dice. They have to go and put another $10 here, okay? And then they have to roll again. Let's see what happens. And it's a 7. Okay, this time they did a natural or a frontline winner, right? 7 or 11 when the puck is off wins, and they still roll the dice. They are even now. Okay, here we go. And there's an 8. So the point becomes 8, and they have to roll an 8 before a 7 in order to pass or win. So let's see. This time we're going to actually bet the 5 again, and we're going to put $10 out on the line here, and we're going to tell this dealer right in front of us, we're going to say, hey, can I get a 5 for $10? And then they will pass, they'll put it on there wherever you are based on your numbers. Some places have boxes, and so let's talk about that for a second. So you can see that there's spots on the table. See this spot right here? And then there's a spot right here. and then there's a spot right here. These are long spots, by the way. Usually they're about like this big, okay? So usually, I think it's one person uses this side, one person uses this side. Usually there's one of these right here in the middle. So usually they're not this big. Usually there's like probably 3 spots here and then a curve making a 4th spot, because the way it is if you're in that first spot over there, there's the first spot, 2nd spot, 3rd spot, 4th spot, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 people can play on this side and 8 people can play on that side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But that's why I'm saying they usually have these. So this is just a different kind of table. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 people probably right here. And if people stood next to each other, there'd probably be 4 people from here to there. Those 4 people in line will be in this spot, this spot, this spot, and this spot. So if I was right here, this would be spot 4. Whenever I would bet, like, so if I would say, give me a $10 10, I put it on the line, because the reason why you put it on the line, because it's not this bet, it's not that bet, it's not that bet, and it's not this bet. That's a bet out there. So you always want to put it on the line so that they know that it's not a bet on any of those other things. So I would say, hey, give me a 10 for $10, or give me a 10. Then they would put it right here on this spot. Why? Because that's my spot, on the 4th spot, and that's why they would put it right there on the 4th spot. Okay. So with all that being said, let's say I over here want a 5. Where would it go? I would put it on the line. Even though I put it on the line way over here, the dealer is standing here. We'll put it on the 4th spot. And so I say I want a 9 too. Give me a 9. Now, usually you would just put out all your money and say, give me a 5, 9, 10, whatever, you know. You wouldn't keep betting like, this is what's called string betting. Like, give me a 5, give me a 9, give me a 10. No, just put all your stack of money right here. And it doesn't have to be correct change. I can put $75 right here and say, give me 4, 5, 9, 10. And then they will give me the change, okay? But let's say I say, give me a 9. And so where would they put me? They would put me right there in that spot. Okay, so now the point is 8. Now this person that bet on the 5 and 9, they don't even have the 8. The 8 doesn't matter to them, but the 7 does. Because if a 7 rolls, they'll lose those bets. This bet, remember, is a bet on the 8. So this person's rolling for the 8. They don't have anything else. Let's see if we get it. And it is a 3. And it is an 8. They got it. So they passed and they won, right? So they won this one. They didn't play any odds back here, by the way. So they just won even money or flat bet. The puck goes off. And now that the puck is off, this person's still rolling because they passed twice. They already passed again. But those bets out there, because that puck is off, those bets are off. Okay, so those bets are off because the puck is off. This bet and this bet is always working. You can never turn them off. They're always working. Okay, here we go. So they're going to roll the dice again. Remember, 7-11 win, 2-3-12 lose, and it is an 8. Back out on the 8. They call that remarkable because they're remarking it. All right, so there's an 8. Back out on the 8. And let's see if we can roll a 5 or 9 so that that person over there can win. Let's see what it is. And it's off camera, but it's a 10, okay? And it is a yo 11. And it is a 3, craps 3. The craps numbers, there's another yo 11, it spun. All right, here we go. And there's a 4, oh my goodness. And there is a 7 out. So this person loses. These people lose. They lose all their bets and the puck goes off. Any money that was out there that was working is gone. Okay, so there are 36 different combinations of the dice, and there are 6 ways to make a 7. A 4 and a 10, there's 3 ways to make a 4 and a 10, 3 ways to make a 10. There's 4 ways to make a 5, 4 ways to make a 9. There's 5 ways to make a 6 and 5 ways to make an 8. So there's 36 different combinations. 1 way to make a 2, 1 way to make a 12, 2 ways to make an 11, 2 ways to make a 3. Although you'll always see a 3, you'll always see it either like that, because it'll either be this die will be a 1 or this die will be a 2 and that one will be a 1. But it's really, you only see it that way, but there's 2 combinations. I hope that makes sense. So with all that, 36 different combinations, there are 6 ways to make a 7. And that's why when people bet, they always bet the 6 and 8. You know why? Because there's 5 ways to make a 6, 5 ways to make an 8. There's 10 combinations just on those 2 numbers. But the way that they pay out is a little bit different. Are you ready to talk about the way they pay out here on the box? Let's talk about it. Okay, so the important thing to know is that an 8, 9, or 10 is the same as the 8 is the same as the 6, the 5 is the same as the 9, and the 10 is the same as the 4. So when we talk about these payouts, when I talk about the 8, it's the same thing on the 6. When I talk about the 9, it's the same thing on the 5. When I talk about the 10, it's the same thing on the 4. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about for every $5. Now, this is a $10 table, but I'm gonna break it down in 5s just so you can see. And there's $5 here. And so the way it works is on a 4 and 10, every $5 pays $9. Okay? So every, oh sorry, you can't see that. You can't see that. Every 5 pays 9. 9 to 5. Okay? Now on a when it comes to a 9 or 5, every $5 will pay 7. Watch this. I think, can you see that? Yeah, I'll put it right there. Every $5 pays 7. Now, on a 6 and 8, every $6 pays 7. So in order to get paid $7 or a proper bet, you have to bet 6 on the 8 and the 6. 6 and 8 have to be $6 instead of 5. So on a 4, 5, 9, and 10, you can bet $5 increments. But on a 6 and 8, you have to bet $6 increments. So on a $10 minimum table, okay, let's go back. I'm gonna take these away. On a $10 minimum table, you can bet $10, $10. But on a 6 and 8, you have to bet $12. Why do you have to bet $12? Every $6 pays 7. So what does that mean? That means that your $10 here would pay $18. I think, is this in the shot? Is this in the shot here? So 10 pays 18. Here, you have $10 pays 14. Guess what? This $12 pays the same thing, 14. Even though it's $2 more, it pays the same. And because the odds of these hitting, there's 10 ways to make these, there's only 8 ways to make a 5 or 9. And then there's only 3 ways, so because there's less ways, that's why it pays more, okay? It pays more. So you might say, Brian, what about if I had my money out on the pass line? Remember, we talked about this. So imagine this person on the 10 was right here on the pass line. They would only win $10. That person won 18. If it was a 9, this person won $10, and that person only will win 14. Same thing, if this one had 10, it would win 10. Over there, they have 12, they would win 14. So let's talk about if they had it like this. Again, if they gave their single odds, this person, if they put $20, they would win $40, right? They would win 39 plus a VIG, but still $9 more than they would win. And over here, they would win, we talked about it, $3 more. And right here, they would win about the same, but they wouldn't get rated for a free cruise. So I just wanted to recap that. I hope you got it. So that is a little taste of what craps is like on a cruise to earn a free cruise. I know that was a lot. You could watch this over, and maybe I'll do another video another time teaching another step or another part of the game. But thanks for watching. Watch this video if you'd like to see more. And don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.